Welcome back to Bay Area Focus. Imagine a world where most women can't have children and the few who can are under complete control of the government. Well, that is the story of a new book. It's called The Completionist. It's a feminist dystopian novel. And here to tell us all about it is the book's author, Siobhan Abcock. Welcome to Bay Area Focus.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, now this is a heavy subject. Tell me first about the book and the plot.
Yeah,
and your characters.
You did a really good job of kind of giving it in a nutshell. The world of the novel is sort of the near future version of our current country. And in this world, climate change has created some downstream effects. The water has dried up. There's this sort of conflict that's been raging in California over resource inequality and water drying up. And we've invented engineered water. But then there are downstream impacts of that as well, one of them being an infertility crisis that impacts the main characters of the book. So women in this world are facing a fertility crisis, and then the women that are able to be pregnant are sort of finding that motherhood is very strictly regulated, and there are all these rules and strictures around what you get to do and when that last for the child's entire life until they're 18 years old. So,
how did you think about this? Like, what sparked this idea?
Yeah. Well, a lot of people have pointed out that there are some similarities to The Handmaid's Tale, which is a very, very popular, awesome series on Hulu right now, and also a great influence of mine. The novel is amazing. And Margaret Atwood, the author of A Handmaid's Tale, said once that every great novel about the future is actually really about the current day, right? So right now we are in the middle of a maternal health crisis in the United States. There are 700 to 800 women who die every year of preventable complications of pregnancy in the United States. There's also, sort of impacts on that downstream after pregnancy as well. 40% of Americans live in a childcare desert. We don't support moms the way that we ought to. Moms and parents, it's almost like we're trying to make it hard to be a parent. So there are lots of ways in which that understanding of the maternal health crisis kind of made its way into the novel.
But it's a little depressing when you think about, I mean, I'm sure writing through it, you have to do a lot of research, obviously.
I did, yeah. Yeah, it's also just a lot of information that I've been steeped in because I've been working in women's publishing, women's digital media for a long time. And so a lot of that information is kind of just baked into my brain anyway. I don't mean for it to be a downer. I think that dystopian books are actually really about hope. They're about trying to be a good human being in a bad time. And so most great dystopian novels are really about that effort to dig deep and find your essential humanity, even when the world in which you live is kind of trying to take it away from you.
It's a good point, because we tend to paint this bleak picture of a dystopian novel, and that's kind of the tradition.
It is, right? And there's something dystopian in the water right now, definitely. There's a lot of really great dystopian fiction being published about sort of touching on issues from climate change to global inequality to gender inequality. So there's a lot of issues that are explored through dystopian literature, and it's a really exciting tradition to be even a molecular part of.
It's exciting, and some of the things you talk about, when you talk about engineered water, I don't know, is that too far off?
It's not. Right? Yeah. You want to imagine when you're doing your world building, and world building is one of those things that, like, it sounds so amazing, but really it's just like you're sitting with a laptop in your lap and sweating and trying to come up with ideas. But when you're world building to write a dystopian novel, you get to kind of imagine the seductive technologies of the future and the ways in which sort of the conveniences that we're getting toward with our current technology, wearables, and sort of the technology that comes into the home and listens to everything that you're doing and serves you up everything from laundry detergent to the next song that you want to hear without you even having to do much or lift a finger. Like, what's the next natural step of that? So that was a fun thing to explore.
So along with what's going on in the country right now, you were also inspired by your father.
I was, yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. My father was a Vietnam veteran. He did 2 tours of duty in the Marine Corps. And the experience really changed his life. Like a lot of Marine and Vietnam veterans, he suffered from PTSD, and he talked a little bit about his experience, but there was so much about it that we didn't really know. So he passed away when he was fairly young, and a couple of years ago, I got my hands on this envelope full of letters that he wrote home to his older sister from Vietnam as a 19-year-old man, and kind of struggling to be a good man and a strong man and a brave man in a crazy crazy place, and also trying to stay alive. Sure. So it was really just a fascinating insight into this person that I thought I knew, and sort of opened up this different sort of chapter of my understanding about him.
Well,
so,
it really showcases that hope that you were talking about, that you like to put into your novels too, when everything around them is crazy and maybe bad. Siobhan, thanks so much for coming on the show and telling us all about the book. And remember, the book is called The Completionist, and it is available on Amazon and in bookstores. That's going to do it for our show this week. Be sure to check out our Facebook page and our website, kpixtv.com/Bay Area Focus. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, everyone.